Welcome, everybody, to, wow, happy Star Wars Podcast Day, everyone. I hope you can all hear me, but look at everybody in the chat. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming by. It is February 7th, a very special Star Wars day today. It's a Star Wars Podcast Day. We got a whole bunch of people backstage, and I just want to remind everybody that we are simulcasting on both the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast channel and the Red 5 Network channel. So wherever you guys are watching us, thank you for joining us tonight, and we're going to have some fun. I also want to remind everybody why this is Star Wars Podcast Day. Today, February 7th, back in 1999, I think my co-host was a fetus at that time, Shanti, but 23 years ago, the anniversary of the world's first Star Wars-based radio podcast show. I don't even know if it was called a podcast back then. I was trying to do some research, and every record of Jedi Talk has been erased from the interwebs, which I found rather interesting. They did their own little Order 66, but we got a couple of folks backstage that I'm going to bring up real fast and real soon. Haha, Shanti. Just having a little fun here. So February 7th, National Star Wars Podcast Day. We have been at it all day between all the podcasts out here and folks having some fun. Let's see who's backstage. We have quite a group back there. Let's bring in Amanda, Jedi Caligula.
Hey there.
What's up, Amanda? How are you?
Doing pretty good. Today's been fun.
It has been a blast. I started at 11 with, I did a little Twitter Spaces, which was a lot of fun. Talked to some folks about Star Wars and podcasting, and really had some fun. I was in your chat at 2 o'clock. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. We had a great time talking about Clone Wars, so
yeah,
reminiscing and talking about favorite story arcs. So we had a great time.
Absolutely. Here is Star Wars Podcast Day. Thank you very much. We have been taking part of the hashtag Star Wars Podcast Day all frickin' day, and I am loving it. You know what? Star Wars Podcast Day should be every day, especially here at the Red 5 Network, because we are enjoying every single second of it. Let's bring in Kelly, our friend, Sidebar Cantina. She's up next. Kelly, girl, what's up?
Hi, guys.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi, friends.
You've been busy, and the night is not over yet.
I hear ya. I love it.
A long night.
Give me it all. I can do it. I just smacked a troll.
Yeah, I saw that. Good job.
Smack him with the wrench.
Absolutely. Our blue wrench girl. Thank you very much for all that you do. It's been fantastic. And let's bring in R2 the Icky from After the Weekend. What's up, brother? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for inviting me here tonight.
No problem. Thanks for showing up and participating, doing a little talk of the Star War, and it has been really great. I know you can't stay for the entirety of our evening, but we'll see how much we can get out of you. And I think your co-host just showed up backstage. Let's bring her on.
All right, great.
What's up, Maria? ¿Cómo estás?
Ay, muy bien, muchísimas gracias.
Awesome. Yeah, Red 5, we're international up in this Hizao, right? Very nice.
So awesome.
There's a whole bunch of people in the chat. Thank you guys for showing up. I see Matt Vader from the Salty Nerd podcast. R2, you're going to join them later on tonight, right?
Yeah. Yep, going to be on there tonight.
Excellent. We got all sorts of people back there. Dragon Buddy, Charles, General Shinobi. She must be tired because she's not backstage. Come on, girl, get over here. Comics and Cosmetics is in the chat. Thank you for joining us. All right, let's bring in some more people. Saw them earlier today. The Sarlacc Digest. Chris, what's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey there, Chris.
Very nice. Look at all these people. Look at all these wonderful people.
Look out. Yeah, I caught you guys in the sidebar chat earlier. It was nice seeing everybody in there.
Yeah, we were having some fun in the chat, huh?
Right on.
And then we got some more dorks coming up front. How about this dork? Blake over at the Dork Wars podcast. How's it going?
Pretty good. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
I don't check my mic thing anymore, I guess.
All right. And I think we lost somebody. Nicole. We lost Nicole, but she'll be back, hopefully. February 7th, 1999. The show was called Jedi Talk, the very first. Oh, okay. I hear a little bleep. I think she's... You're not having a stroke, are you?
There she is.
There she is.
Nicole, how are you, friend?
My clip just went on my stand.
Oh no!
And I'm like, but hello, everybody. Hello to everybody in the chat. I'm glad to be here. This is going to be a very fun evening. I've been enjoying everybody's podcast so far today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've been pretty busy. So, Star Wars Podcast Day, thank you very much for reminding us. I guess, I didn't find anything of interest. I guess you can find some stuff on the Internet Archive. You need to dig a little. But it's always fun to do some research, do a little detective work to find out a little more about Jedi Talk and what was happening on those bulletin boards back in the 1990s. Woo! Let's start talking about podcasting and Star Wars as it, we're here because, does that mean you still have bubblegum? Yeah, we do still have bubblegum. Hey, R2, how you doing? I'm pushing all sorts of buttons here. So earlier today, I was doing a Twitter Spaces, and we were really talking about, the fact that we're all here because of one reason or another, but it all kind of compounds itself into our love for Star Wars and our love for talking about this franchise in particular. And obviously, we are dorks of all sorts of colors and flavors. We love anything nerdy. I know some of us have kind of rebranded. Brad and I started Scare just talking about Star Wars, but we wanted to talk about other stuff too. But, Star Wars really is one of the things that kind of brings us together. As fans, obviously, but as content creators, and it really is. We've been talking about it for decades, literally, and it's here to stay. We've got more Star Wars in the pipeline, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing. So. Thank you very much to Jedi Talk back in the 90s who broke ground on all the stuff that we are doing. And let's go around the room and talk a little bit about your podcasting experience and what brought you to podcasting about Star Wars. Let's start alphabetically with Amanda.
Yeah, I've been a fan of podcasting since college. I used to listen to podcasts regularly, and actually I give you the credit, Ro, for kind of giving me, the courage to start up my own. So you were always supportive, always just give it a go. And so I started it up, and we're doing really good at Galaxy Queers. So
fantastic. And you guys have a show coming up that's really cool. I know you have a couple of guests. Yes, I do. We have a nice panel of 8 people. So very nice. And who is that? The man of many hats, but we have a woman with many hats, Miss Kelly, Sidebar Cantina. She just sent me a text. She said she was going to moderate 2 pods at 9 o'clock. And I can just picture her like a stockbroker with like 7 monitors clicking away. Amazing. And I left your crew earlier a couple of minutes ago. They were doing their thing, but tell us a little bit about your podcasting experience and what it all means to you.
Well, me personally, or Dave and Jason?
Well, Dave and Jason and you, because you're part of the whole family. I mean, you've seen, I think you've seen, the inner workings on both ends. So it's really great to get your point of view.
Absolutely. Dave and Jason met in the Air Force many, many years ago. They decided back in 2017 to form a Star Wars podcast because they both loved Star Wars. I came into the scene back in 2020 in the whole world of COVID when, we're all locked down and nothing to do. They quickly grabbed me as a social media director, and that means I post on all their socials and, keep up contacts with everybody. And it's exactly what I love to do. And it's Star Wars, so.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. And Maria's looking at R2 the Icky because you guys are a team. You guys are there you go, a little Brady Bunch action there. Love it. The podcast, you guys are new Red 5 members, and welcome aboard. Thank you very much for participating and joining us here tonight. But tell us a little bit about your team up. How did you guys meet, and how did you coincide with doing the podcasting together?
No, I get to go first. Well, we met on Twitter, but I can't say I remember how we actually met. We just kind of showed up around the same places, and we actually had some mutual friends that do a movie review channel too. But I just had asked her, I'm like, hey, you seem to like a lot of the same stuff that I do. And she already had her own YouTube channel as well. But I said, would you want to do a movie review? And she was like, sure, let's try it out. And we started over on her channel, Unlocking Lore. And, we were able to kind of stick with it and got a little bit of a following and created our own channel dedicated to our show After the Weekend, which is, we focus on what we watched during our childhood and like our teens. So it's all 80s and 90s stuff primarily, and just the things that we loved growing up. It is sad that we're part of a Star Wars network. I said this earlier on Twitter Spaces, but we haven't done anything Star Wars yet. But I think come May, we probably should do, some Star Wars. I think that's a perfect time to do it. And, I'll let Maria throw in anything else she'd like to there.
Jot it down. Write it down.
It's going on the list.
It's going on the list. We
do have a spreadsheet that I keep track of everything we want to review. So
yeah, and it just kind of keeps growing because movies kind of pop up.
Yeah.
So R2 already said everything. We did meet on Twitter, and he literally just wrote to me and said, "Hey, you know what? I want to do a movie review like the ones that Deanne is doing. Would you like to do it?" I was like, okay.
Who is this weirdo?
Okay, fine. And he started off the hangout. Actually, it was on my channel. We had the first hangout with Deanne and stuff, and we were talking about Ghostbusters because we were all hyped up with Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then we started off something. And since we couldn't get any day together except Monday, then we went for, it's kind of like, well, it's after the weekend. So let's just, just stick to that. It's after the weekend.
That's awesome. A lot of people have found their co-hosts that way. And I know our mothers always told us to be wary of strangers on the internet. But here we are, meeting strangers on the internet and getting into strangers' cars that we don't know and having them take us places via Uber and all that stuff. Have we learned nothing?
No.
But here we are, brave young souls.
I'm too big for anybody to kidnap me, so I have no idea.
As long as they have candy, who cares?
Right, exactly.
No, not candy. Ro pulls up in his news van full of Funko Pops.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm getting in.
That's it.
I thought you were saying he pulls up and he's like, "Hey kid, you want to be on TV?"
There you go. Hey, if it worked in college, it's going to work now. Absolutely. Hey, how you doing? Absolutely. The Sarlacc Digest. You guys do your show late night, and sometimes I'm sitting here editing, and I'm like, oh, let me pop on and see what the guys are talking about. But Chris, tell us a little bit about your experience with your team. What's going on over there?
Right on. Well, we got a group of 6 fellas over there, really 5 right now, but Mike, it works too damn much to be on the show, so we'll call it 5. But a bunch of fellas that go on every Wednesday live on YouTube, and we put the show up on all the audio platforms after that. But we just talking bullshit around Star Wars. And I'll tell you how we got together is Marco and I have been friends for a very long time. We've always watched the Star Wars together. The special editions, we would go see those in the movie theater at the midnight shows. We watched the prequels together. We were in line for Revenge of the Sith for 3 days. In a tent together, hanging out and drinking and doing what have you for that. And everybody's sunburnt and a mess. Anyway, we've known each other a long time. So come Force Awakens, we're going to be first in line for Force Awakens, but I'm running a baseball bunch of teams too. I coached, all sorts of ages in baseball. So I had 95 people coming in line. Okay, so here's me and Marco and a couple buddies, and we said these other guys come up, the rest of the guys on the show, right? Ernie and Joey and Mike. And they're like, hey guys, blah, blah, blah. We're like, hey, just so you know, all these tables and chairs and shit. I said, I got 95 people coming. I got a bunch of kids. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Well, about 3 o'clock comes up, here come 95 people deep, and they're like, shit, you weren't kidding. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. This isn't assigned seats. They're going to go in there and bum rush it. So you guys are toast, So the next year we go and we're at Rogue One, but somehow Mike and Marco had exchanged numbers. Mike calls them and says, hey, what time you guys going? These are midnight shows, right? We're going to be there at 5 a.m., dude. We'll see you there. So obviously we told him 5, we get there at 4. We get there at 4. He's been there since 3. We're like, oh, you son of a bitch, right? But that day we spent all day talking in line. This is the second time now talking in Star Wars. We decided right then, let's just do this as a podcast and hook it up. A couple weeks later, boom, episode 1 of Sarlacc was born, and here we are, 100 and almost 50 episodes later, and a whole bunch of shoot-off shows, whether it be Beyond the Pit, where we just talk about random nerd stuff, or we talk about, I have a bunch of old Hoth Topic episodes we used to do, or Scott does a 1-minute toy review almost every day. So we got a lot of stuff going on.
Awesome. I get comments all the time asking me, how can you talk about this nerd stuff like every week, new topics all the time. And it's like, there's just a lot there, even just in Star Wars. I mean, there's so much that you can talk about. Characters, masks, costumes, the lore, behind the scenes drama, all the wonderful stuff that make this galaxy such a rich place to kind of play in.
Look, even if you talk about it once, you talk about it again, you're going to have a different point of view by then. Yeah. You've got more stuff in your experience, and you've watched it another 10 times or what have you, and it's just fun to go over it and over and over. We're still talking about A New Hope all the time.
I know, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's one of the fun things about being content creators, that we can always kind of, flip a coin and see where it lands and just talk about the different aspects of everything. And it's not just like one linear thing. It's like it can go off and branch off into different places. And, I think that's one of the things that makes it so fun.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. We literally spin a wheel sometimes to decide what we're going to talk about. We'll spin it. We do. That's how we do the Beyond the Pit. When the random nerd stuff is on there, it's a spin in the wheel of 30 different topics. And whatever it is, we just bullshit on.
Absolutely. And Dragon Buddy, your comment is perfect. There's so much content to fall in love with, and that can't be understressed, overstressed. It is just there's so much there. Absolutely. Blake, we did a show with you a while ago, and I forgot what was the topic. We were talking Star Wars, but what was specifically?
We were doing quick cuts, and we were talking about canon. Canon was one of the questions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember the other two.
Yeah. It was so far. It was like we probably need an update. We'll come back on the show. We'll talk some more.
Yeah, for sure. But so our show, we got 5 or 6 guys as well. I thought that I was going to be kind of out there with that because that's a lot to edit. But I guess Sarlacc, they got me beat with 6 or 5.5 or whatever.
We don't
they're
edit.
Doing over there. You don't edit. Oh, there you go. There we go. I have to edit. It wouldn't go too well. But I'm kind of the amateur, I guess, of the group because we've been doing this for a year at New Year's. And we were just a bunch of guys hanging out. We play PlayStation, talk Star Wars. We all know each other from different groups and all. And we got together and just said, hey, why don't we talk about this on the internet? We're good at it. We know our stuff. Maybe somebody will listen. So we all had a musical background, most of us. So we all had the equipment, and it just seemed right. So we jumped right into it. Shout out to my boy Wesley. He's in the chat, or was in the chat. Who knows? But it's been a lot of fun picking up tips. We got up with Red 5, I think, during the summer. I think it was June-ish. And it's only been that much more fun since then. So
Kelly would know.
You guys having us.
I was like, Kelly would know. She's yeah.
I think it was June. I just tabs on everybody.
That's fantastic. And then, you know, sometimes, like Amanda was saying, you know, she's, I was saying in the Twitter spaces that between Amanda, one of our followers, Shannon, and Ollie K, I'm sure you guys have heard of Ollie K. One of you guys are our follower number one. And I remember I was telling you, Amanda, that I still have a direct message, when I was asking you to listen to episode 1 of the Scare of Scuttlebutt podcast from Celebration Chicago. I'm like, can you do me a favor? We just released our first episode.
I remember listening to that very first episode.
So wild, you know. And we are.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have not missed an episode of Scarifs somehow.
Very nice.
So
and we
cool.
appreciate followers like you, and here you are with your own show. It's been quite an amazing ride for me to be able to see you kind of, I don't know, transform and blossom from, you know, somebody that just happens to listen to our show to somebody having a show, let alone being in the network with us. So it's really been fantastic. I love it. So, you know, from somebody that starts out as a friend of the Red 5 network, someone like Nicole, our friend Nicole, who was following a lot of us, and then all of a sudden she's part of Rogue One Radio. Hi, Nicole.
Hello. Hold on. Here it is. We have friendships formed here, can you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So a little bit of my background. I went to school for broadcasting. I did radio and stuff for a while, and then my life changed. You know, things changed. Life happens and whatnot. COVID, of course, happened. I started writing and stuff. Great. Life happens again. Situations happen. I had this writer's block, but at the same time, I was getting requests to be a guest co-host, beginning with DJ Red for Charlie on Twitter. Him and I are kind of like R2, Vicky, and Maria. We kept following each other at the same places. We kept, you know, commenting on the same things, tweeting the same things. We just kept landing in the same spots. So he was like the first one who said, "Hey, Nicole, would you know, come and join me and talk one night?" And I said, sure. And then I found myself in that old feeling that I used to love when I used to do radio. I loved being there with people. I loved, you know, talking or geeking out or depending on what the topic was. And just found myself enjoying it more and more. And then, of course, you know, went from honorary Red 5. Technically, I should have been official last July, but October, when again other circumstances kind of happened, and you know, Red 5's kind of been there. It is a family that's been very supportive through so much. So again, finding all those silver linings, as I say, through all the tough times, and talking about these different fandoms and geeking out is very it's a coping mechanism, and it's very helpful, and it's good to kind of get it out, but in a healthy way, not toxic, please. No drama, but no drama. Y'all can keep the extra drama. I don't need that. In a healthy, good way. So, and then also promoting positivity, you know, through the Twitter that I do also have. So, and I am, of course, also part of Rogue One now. I didn't mention that. That's where I'm at now. So,
yeah. Totally. For a while, I thought DJ, Blake, and Charlie were 3 different people. So I'm glad that was all straightened out. We have another Sarlacc Pit guy in backstage. Let's bring him on and talk to him about his podcasting experience.
What's up?
What's up, my friend?
How's it going?
Nice going.
Good. Look at all these wonderful people in here. Wow. So thank you very much for joining us. We're just sitting here talking about our podcast experience, where we met our fellow compadres in our relative shows here. But Chris gave us a little bit of the 411 on that. But I
hosed up. Scott's the sequel.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the sequel. Yeah.
I'm the sequel.
That's the sequel. I gave him the origin story, Scott. You're the sequel.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Where we all came from.
What's up, little Ricky?
Little Spidey.
Little
Hey,
Spidey?
little Spidey!
Oh,
Sorry, he
Okay,
said
you're
everybody pull out their baby Grogu, so he brought out his remote control.
Nice.
oh.
I'm glad
Nice.
he did.
Yeah.
So, Scott, tell us a little bit about your experience as a content creator in this arena that we call Star Wars Twitter.
Star Wars Twitter. We're going there. No. Personally, as a content creator and a podcast, I started on a podcast called the Nerds with Attitude podcast. That came out back, God, I want to say it was probably about 8 years ago or so. But I have known Chris for the better part of 30 years. So I was at a comic book store one day and we were chatting about our podcasts, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing a podcast too," and I'm like, "All right, cool." So he invited me in. It was episode 6 of the Sarlacc Digest. They named me Scott Solo, and I never left. That's right. It's about all
Very
there
nice.
is. The Nerds with Attitude died a painful, flaming death, and I kept one of my best friends and I that were on that podcast. We still hang out, but that's about it, man. Otherwise, everybody just kind of went their separate ways.
But now he's got us.
That's right.
There you go. There
Who
you
needs
go.
anything else, right?
And the pit.
Absolutely.
And the pit.
And the
And
pit.
the Sarlacc pit. That's right.
I love the pit.
The pit's popping all the time.
It is. Lately, it's been great. It's been insane.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. First of all, Megan asked a really good question. Let me scroll back up because it was up there. Hold on a second. She asks... Oh, here's another one. Oh, wait a minute. This is another one. She's got a couple of good ones in there. Hold on a second. Let me find it here.
I'm getting scared.
She's our champion reporter. I like it.
Oh,
I've read a couple of
this
them.
one. Yeah, this one would generate some.
Oh.
I might have to take that one. And I don't know if Shanti's in the chat or not, but
I'm taking a picture of that.
She is an angel. Shanti is an angel.
yes.
I swear to God, Scott, if you answer that. Not a word.
Well, at least you'll be talking to your face about it, not behind your back, right?
That's right.
Fair.
But great question there, and obviously we are all happy to work with each other and part of our family here on all the shows. But I wanted to ask you guys, we come out with content on a regular basis, and obviously sometimes it's more regular than others. But it's not easy coming up with topic ideas, and some of us edit some stuff more than others. There's a lot of work that goes into our shows. I wanted to ask all you guys, what are some of your challenges when you first started creating content? Did you guys have something that you, like the first thing that you thought of was just like kind of like a mental block and thought like, wow, what am I going to do about this issue? Anybody have anything monumental that you've obviously surpassed because you guys are all superstars now, but back in the day when we were all starting up, we've got our little checklist of things to do. Was there anything that was monumental that you thought, wow, how am I going to do this? Anybody want to
don't fart on a live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, wise words.
I think some of us still do that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I
tell you
think
one of
something
the-
we thought we would struggle with is being consistent and always getting a show out. And we generally, unless we're going on hiatus for 2 weeks during the holidays, we generally, with 5 or 6 of us, it's pretty tough not to get a show out. One of us can host it if Marco's gone or vice versa, right?
Yeah.
But to go every single week now and not miss is probably the biggest challenge we've had. I mean, we do it, but
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest challenges for most people is just starting out, and Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, and I think DJ had the same problem, is the fear of nobody listening to you.
That wasn't as much my fear. It was more of camera shyness.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, that was a massive thing to conquer because I'm an introvert normally.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, running a podcast is kind of like you're at a room in a party kind of like thing, you know, where you're in front of all these people and you're talking. And for somebody like an introvert like me, it was terrifying at first.
Just imagine all of us with no pants on,
That's the
which I'm sure you do anyways.
Yeah,
That's these pod guys.
that's Dawn and
We were
Brady already.
supposed to be
so-
wearing pants.
NTD.
NDB, yeah.
Wait, I was supposed to be
I didn't know we were
wearing
supposed to be wearing
pants
pants.
I got socks
I
on.
wanna
Is that okay?
I want to sleep tonight if you don't mind. I don't want to have nightmares.
Exactly. But-
for us, especially whenever I started, we were just a general. The NWA was just a general nerd thing. We would review old cartoons. We would talk about new nerd stuff, and for us, the big challenge was trying to get together in one room and do the show because our audio guy refused to do anything via Zoom. So, you know, whenever I joined the Sarlacc, though, I thought there would be a lack of things to talk about sometimes, but there's not. There's always something Star Wars to talk about. So,
And if we get in a rut, you just spin a wheel.
yeah.
Sure.
See?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty marvelous to hear everybody's story about how they started up. We got somebody else backstage, but I think she's having a conniption or something because the camera's like all over the place. We're gonna wait until she calms down. I think she probably has to switch over to decaf because there's a lot happening over there.
Herself out.
Quitter.
Yeah. But so okay, let me bring her on. I think everything is good. Trooper Shanti. Whoa, look at that.
Trooper!
My
Wait, I can't
co-host
hear
is
you
in
guys
the
for some reason.
you know, you always tell me that you don't want to hear me, so this might be by design, Shanti.
She can't hear you now.
You can say whatever you want now, right?
Fuck her, I kicked her off. She's got some issues when she brings them back. We'll see. But you know, talking about the first podcast back in 1999, I wonder what they talked about. And I know what movie was released in 1999, The Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there was a lot to. I actually traveled. I live in Chicago. I traveled to Los Angeles for The Phantom Menace, and I waited in line for 3 nights in front of the Grauman's Chinese Theater. It was like
Nice.
one of my best experiences, one of my best fan experiences, waiting in line with like-minded folks. It was really fantastic. It was the first time I saw. Hold on, let's see. Bring her in back again. Let's see if it's working. It's working
I
now.
couldn't hear anybody.
That's fine. We weren't talking to you.
And you're the co-host, I don't want to work with.
And there's the answer. But yeah, that was the first time I actually saw like real stormtroopers just walking up and down Hollywood and Vine and directing traffic, and there was a Boba Fett just crossing the street, along with
Hollywood Boulevard.
exactly,
Wow.
along with a homeless Michael Jackson walking down doing what the so that was quite an experience. But it was really great. Around 2 a.m, there was a van, and this was before everybody had mobile phones. We didn't have the amount of video power we have in our pockets now. But at 2 a.m, there was a van full of Star Trek fans that rushed the line. Everybody got out. And one of the guys, everybody was dressed in Spock outfits and giving us the finger and yelling at us and telling us that Yoda is a puppet. It was pretty awesome. It was really
Yoda is
awesome.
an ideology, okay? Yoda is life. Thank you.
But it was really great. Again, just a wonderful experience. Watching the media show up and doing interviews with all the fans. I think I was pretty close to the beginning of the line, and I know that particular line had a sign that said the line starts here, and it had the Phantom Menace logo on it, and it was really cool. But yeah, excellent experiences, and obviously, Star Wars kind of brings out the camaraderie and people. You see it at fan conventions all the time. Star Wars Celebration, C2E2 here in Chicago, the San Diego Comic-Con. So everywhere there is a fan community, you tend to see that camaraderie, which is puzzling to me, especially when I see, the drama on Twitter. When we're all fighting amongst each other, and it's just puzzling. But sometimes we want to rush to be right first, and sometimes we might want to. What did Cobb Vance say? Think it through.
Mm-hmm. Think it through.
Think it through.
Yes.
I've got a long-standing rule. I don't twat. I don't get on Twitter.
We're all about the twat here.
I let Chris do that. He lets me do the twatting. Yeah, I let him do the twatting. Because I'm sorry, everybody on Twitter is so I just.
Exactly.
That's including.
God, I think everyone here is on Twitter. Like,
yeah, right.
He was lumping me in.
But you know what's funny about that statement, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to log off for a while for my mental health and all this stuff, and I get it. Sometimes I feel that what Yoda said to Luke about going into the tree. Your weapons, you will not need them. It's almost the same thing. Like you bring to Twitter, you experience Twitter what you bring to it, and it's do I see some nasty shit going on? Yeah, of course I do. But for the most part, I think my timeline has been curated, and probably based on the people that I follow and the people that I interact with. That all that crap gets sifted. And I know, there's some stuff going on in one aspect of the fandom, between a couple people, but it's, I don't see a lot of that stuff. And I see, obviously, our interactions between Red 5 and some of our followers and people that love our shows and listen to us, but it really is kind of what you bring to the table. And I'm glad that we don't kind of stay in that dark space, at least for too long, unless you're Cam and Adam talking about their mothers. But that's another story.
Yeah.
Look, nobody's going to agree. You and I disagree a lot, Ro, right? I mean, on Twitter. We don't.
Oh, yeah.
But as long as we get along and we talk it through, it's cool. It's just when everybody gets, this is my way or the highway.
Right.
It's like,
I always disagree with Ro.
Scott and I disagree on the show sometimes. We'll get at it on the show, but
but we're friends. Cool. At the end of the day, we know that we've got each other's backs. At the end of the day, that's what counts. There's some people though lately that have just been like calling people out and said, "Just you wait until I see you." What
are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah,
I've met these people in person. Nothing.
Same.
I'm calling caps.
What are you gonna do? Cap lock me to death? Come on.
Jeez, if you listen to Dork Wars the podcast at all, I mean that's just a group of five dudes fighting over their views of Star Wars. I mean that's just what we do. I mean,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole show.
Yeah.
Oh, and
we're like
Yoda.
that most of the time. We're like that most of the time where we agree, but when we don't agree, it gets spicy. That's when it's good. That's when it's my favorite shows. I get off and everybody's all heated and sweaty, and I'm like, that was great.
Those are the best episodes. I'm telling you, those are the best episodes.
I was being a dick to everybody. They're all mad. I'm like, that was fantastic, guys.
Let's get together and do it again next week.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, Ro, I am going to have to take off.
Sure, no problem.
But it was great to hang out with everybody.
Bye, R2.
Thank you so much, R2.
I was going to say too. I remember watching episode 1 as well. Far less uneventful when I saw it. The nice theater, it was all sold out, so we had to go watch it in the hood. And my dad, and my older brother, and me, and we were the only 3 white guys there. Matter of fact, we were the only people there too. So it was nice to have the theater to ourselves. So
I didn't see any Star Trek.
I do always remember that. So I'll share that little story before I leave. But thank you all. It was wonderful hanging out with all of you. Had a great time. Wish I could have stayed longer, but I will see you all later. Take care.
All right, take care,
Bye,
R2.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, Chris is up on the top now. Jeez.
Moving on up.
Getting promoted. Look out.
Wow.
Don't you guys have somewhere to go? Right over next to Ro.
It's too funny. But yeah, what else? Have you guys been active all day, or is this your first time up here, or what's going on?
I forgot it was National Star Wars podcast.
Yeah,
I saw you doing it, so I was like, I'll jump on. That's cool.
I've been keeping tabs. I had to work, so luckily it was a rain day. I survey land for a professional, more construction sites. It was rainy here in North Carolina today, so I kept tabs on everything. I actually had some editing to kind of do on our show we released today, so kept tabs, released our show. So here we go, Star Wars Podcast Day.
Woohoo! Yeah, I was off today. I was thankful that I was off. Sometimes, I get to be able to respond to certain questions on Twitter when I am working in between things. But it's nice to kind of plan things out. Like I said, I did a Twitter space at around 11 that folks were in. I was in Amanda's chat. But yeah, it's fantastic. Let's do a quick little exercise that might correlate to a podcast in 1999. Let's all pretend that we saw the Phantom Menace for the first time, and let's do a quick little 5-minute talk about the Phantom Menace and how awesome it was and mind-boggling as we hold our gold Pepsi cans with Yoda on it.
Yes.
Our toppers from Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell.
Toppers from
You know,
Taco Bell,
you know
yeah.
the funny thing. So obviously, PepsiCo paid George Lucas $2 billion for marketing rights for the Phantom Menace. Obviously, the first Star Wars in a really long time. So they wanted a piece of that action. Can you imagine getting, basically Pepsi just paid for the films there.
Yeah.
But between Pepsi and what else does Pepsi own? Taco Bell, Doritos, KFC. Yeah, throughout the whole thing. I went into a Taco Bell, and all the employees had Episode 1 Phantom Menace T-shirts with a Taco Bell logo on it. I offered this young lady $200 to take her shirt off and give me the shirt because it was a Phantom Menace collectible.
You would get your ass canceled today.
And she would not budge. I started at like $50. I started at $50 and went up to 200, and she's like, I can't.
Problem is, you were in your car. She was outside Taco Bell, and you were doing it that way. That was
right.
rough.
Yeah.
And she saw my news van with all the Funko Pops. But yeah, I wanted that. No, I never got one. I got all the toppers, and I've probably started collecting all the Pepsi cans. But yeah.
Oh, there's
Nice. The iced tea brisk.
Would you keep the coupon?
Wow. That is fantastic.
I was all about the Phantom Menace. I personally loved it. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
cool,
Jar
so cool.
Jar. Jar Jar, come on.
You see, he didn't bother me as much because I was
he
only
bothered
10
me.
years. Well, I was only 10 years old when it came out.
I was 8.
So to
13?
me,
12, 13?
from a child's point of view, it was kind of like,
Oh no. I wanted to kill
Kinda
him.
went with it.
I wanted to kill Jar Jar.
It's not till I got older that I wanted to kill him. When episode 2
Good.
came out, when I was
Look,
13, I was like, yeah, get rid of him now.
And I may be naive, but look, Jar Jar's a Sith Lord in my heart. I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
that. In my heart, he
he
is a Sith Lord.
totally is. Jar Jar.
I like Jar Jar.
He's the real
I like Jar
mastermind.
Jar.
Yeah.
He is a
I'm
real
sorry.
mastermind. Yeah.
I like
Kelly.
them.
I remember the talk back then. You know, we were adult enough. I was 22, so I remember that talk, and it was about that. We all knew back then. Well, hey, George put some stuff in there for the kids too. It's not just us, right? It was,
That's true.
you got to
Sure,
just
yeah.
comedic stuff. You just got to deal with the Misa and Yusa and stuff. As far as a character, I was all right with it. I like the Gungans in general too, and Otogunga.
I know, I do.
Otogunga's
The
rad.
Gungans-
Yeah,
Not
Gungans
just
rad.
Jar
are
Jar.
really-
Only Jar Jar.
Yeah.
They got
The
some
Only
Gungans
flair.
are
Jar Jar.
really great. And I hope we get to see the Gungans maybe in future Star Wars projects because they're a very
Yeah.
cool species.
Yeah,
That would
be
be
cool. That would be cool.
I
And
was, I was 25 years old with my wife seeing this thing. We walk out and we both kind of looked at each other and we're like, did we like that? I don't know. I don't know if we like that. I got to see it again. So, I notoriously say that I don't prequel mainly because of Attack of the Clones. It's just that one. And I know this is a big point of contention between Chris and I. He
I love
loves Attack of the Clones. That is my least favorite movie in the Star Wars
Pantheon.
Yes, the pantheon of all.
Even the sequels?
I don't like Attack.
Anyway, so we're, but I've seen each
Cancel
one
this
of them
damn.
about 8 or 9 times in the
My
theater
ears.
because that's how I roll. I will go see each one several times to figure out where it sits in the giant list that I have in my brain.
Yeah.
So,
Put it
and that one got better.
Ooh, look at that addition.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh,
Yeah.
God, that's pretty.
It's beautiful.
That's pretty.
Ooh,
You know, Chris, I have to agree with you about Attack of the Clones. I really like Attack of the Clones.
See, Scott and I did a whole episode. We did a special hot topic episode where we got on there and argued about it for about an hour.
I really like it. It's the Star Wars film I saw the most in theaters. I think I saw it a total of 7 times. I think
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
That's
So-
my favorite.
Nice,
That one's
Nicole.
my favorite.
it is.
Phantom Menace is the
That
one
was
I've
my
seen the
favorite.
most. I think it was 17 times by the time.
Yeah,
I'd seen
Phantom
it.
Menace
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Settle down. Andrew's here.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Yeah, the prequels look great in those books. Those books that you just held up, those are perfect representations of what the prequels could have been.
Even
Yeah.
reading through them, they're perfect.
They're amazing.
The
They're-
novels
Yeah.
are great. The
Fantastic.
novels
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It fills everything in that you're missing in the movies.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure. Which they all kind of do always. So,
Yeah.
but
We
So,
can get
Andrew,
some.
99 was the first celebration too. Didn't you guys go to? Well, not most of you guys go to that row. Did you get a chance to go to Celebration 1 or?
in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was raining like heck.
Like they had
You
that
were there,
KFC
Ro?
tent. I was too.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It was,
Really? Okay.
That KFC tent right in between the buildings, between the temporary and the main,
Yeah.
and all that. It was a mess. It was like their biggest storm. We were
Yeah.
swamped. It was horrendous.
growing pains.
Yeah.
How
Now,
small
Yeah.
was it? How small was the first celebration?
like a eighth of the size it is now. It
Oh,
was
wow.
pretty small. You had one where you had like the vendors, and
Mhm.
one where and a tent. These are tents. 2 of them. A tent with the vendors.
Oh, there were tents. Okay.
A tent where you went in there and spoke, where you could see like Ahmed Best had his band in there and talking to people. Rick McCullum was in there. All those
Okay.
guys. Then you had one the full building, like a metal building, I believe, if I recall right. And then in there was all your stuff. You had your toys and your things that were coming out soon, some video game stuff. It was cool, but it was way
Okay.
smaller than we're used to now. It
Wow,
was
that's
like Rose
sounds
said,
really
growing
different.
pains.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Andrew, we are recounting our memories of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, in lieu of Jedi Talk, the first Star Wars podcast tonight on Star Wars Podcast Day. What memories do you have of Episode 1?
The music was amazing.
Yeah, the music.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but there are things that there are redeeming qualities to the movie. I think George got caught way more up in pushing technology than making a good movie, and it shows. The story's all there, but he was way more interested in the technical aspects. I think really what stands out about that movie to me is I was 19 when that one came out. my first year of college. My dad saw the Star Wars, A New Hope, in the theater when he was 17. This was the closest I got to getting that experience of standing in line for a ridiculous number of hours to get tickets, hanging out with all the friends, taking because we have to drive to a good theater from here. So taking 4 carloads of people 90 miles down the road to go see the movie together. And so for me, the memories of that are really about the experience, because it was just right after that selling movie tickets went mainly online, and it changed everything. It was the end of that, and so it was really the only time that I got to have that experience of really, going with friends and literally camping out to go see a movie.
And that's what sucks about the new way we do it, right? With the assigned seating. We talk about that all the time with the guys when we go to another movie. The assigned seating, we love it for a reason. We used to just buy out the theater and assign ourselves. That's the easy way to do it, But having that, and there's no reason to get there but an hour early just for some fun, right? We'll still do it for 5 or 6 hours, but we're ridiculous, That's the fun stuff, Andrew. You're right. Camping out with your buddies and talking all day. That's what we do. That's why the shows are cool, because you get to do that all the time. Yep.
Plus, with the midnight showings back in the day, you used to get like free stuff they would be giving out.
Yeah.
Today they don't do that anymore at all.
No. I'll tell you what. I'm old. I'm glad there's not midnight anymore. I'm quite happy with the 7 o'clock showing on a Thursday.
Yeah, I gotta say the same.
I think we're the same age, Chris.
Dude, I'm fascinated. I'm going to tell you.
I didn't get a word.
What?
Speaking Arabic.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I was saying I am 29 and I'm still cool with an 8 o'clock showing.
35 will go 3 p.m. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Just wait until you become,
go.
wait until you're late 40s like us, and then it'll be the first showing on a Sunday. So you get that, discount.
Less people are there. I don't want to deal with all the loud fans.
$6.
Exactly. Go on a Wednesday morning.
That was the thing with the midnight shows too. Right back then, it was a party. It was a
When
you got to finally sit when they let you in there. People were up there in costume and losing their minds, and everybody was doing trivia,
talking
waving their lightsabers.
And cheering the entire movie, and nobody cared on day one because that was the experience. That's what you wanted.
Right.
Every time R2 showed up, 3PO showed up, everybody you seen Palpatine show up. Everybody's losing their minds.
You missed the next 10 lines.
Yeah, for sure. That's why you bought tickets for the next day for 3 other shows, right?
Exactly.
You can actually watch the movie.
Yeah.
Shanti's got a great story about fan experience at one of the showings. You want to tell that?
Sure. It was for Revenge of the Sith. So all my friends, we were really into it. And like we said, we just had this discussion about how I miss those days of actually going and buying the ticket and waiting in line. Yeah. We literally waited 5 hours before the midnight showing of Revenge of the Sith. But because I was dressed like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I had my lightsaber, my friend Danny was dressed as Count Dooku, and we were literally having like a lightsaber battle in line. And because of that, I'm from Miami. The Miami Herald happened to be at the movie theater, saw us, took a picture of us, got our names down, and we actually ended up in the Herald. And of course,
nice.
My mom kept it and then gave it to me, and now I have it, and I still have that newspaper.
Nice.
And I miss that. I do. I miss that.
It was just a whole experience. Like I saw Revenge of the Sith on midnight showing as well, and it's just it was like a big party of everybody that was into the same stuff as you, and you would have lightsaber battles. You would, toast to a scene in the middle of the theater. Popcorn would be thrown. It was just it was so much fun, and I miss it.
It was different being a nerd back then, because that was when you really got to hang out with your people and not worry about what you were talking about.
Exactly.
People would walk by and you kind of stop a little bit when they were walking by. Now you don't even do that. Now it's just whatever. I'm talking in the middle of the street. But, different times.
Yeah. I think, I think waiting in line was part of the fun, obviously.
Yeah.
When
everybody was hyped.
Yeah, we had the Chicago had the showing, the premiere of was it Attack of the Clones? I think so. They had the one with the big ticket, and I have it behind me. I'm not going to get it, but I think it was Attack of the Clones. They gave everybody a commemorative ticket with a little foil on the bottom. I remember bringing my museum quality Icons Darth Vader lightsaber, and everybody had like something, but I was really scared because that was probably like the biggest purchase that I had made like back in the day. I was in college. We went to Washington D.C. To see the Star Wars exhibit at the Smithsonian, which was amazing. And obviously, when you get out of the Smithsonian exhibit, it empties right into the gift shop. And lo and behold, my business partner and I, who went, we're both Star Wars nuts. We separated and we came back. I had this look of terror in my face, and I was holding a white box. And he says, "What did you do?" I said, I just bought $1,000 lightsaber." And wow. And it all went downhill after that.
I once asked you, what is your most expensive collectible that you have? And you said a $1,000 lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about now $1,000. We're talking about back in the day.
Oh yeah, back in the day, yeah. I mean, Icons, the company is no longer around. I have seen those lightsabers. They're they don't go for $1,000 anymore. It's depreciated, but there's better ones. But they're it's nice. It came in the case. It's a nice museum piece with a signature of James Earl Jones on the little plaque, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's it's one of my many frivolous collectibles that I have. And speaking of collectibles, this week we are doing we're dropping an episode with Paul and Josh. We definitely talked about collectibles. It's one of the things that I love. Obviously, when you guys see Scarif Podcast, you see some collectibles behind me, and we just had a really great time talking about masks and collectibles and why we collect. Really great episode, and really awesome making new friends. Obviously, with what we do in front of the camera, in front of the microphone, we make new friends and make these connections, which I think is just fabulous. Demonstrated obviously by all of you wonderful people here and everybody in the chat, which is amazing. And it's just a great thing. I think we all grew up to some form or fashion with a little bit of ridicule for the stuff that we liked. We talk about it all the time. Nerd, geek is sometimes used as a derogatory statement, but I think around here it's like we wear it as a badge of honor. Absolutely. But yeah, this Star Wars Podcast Day, celebrating the franchise that we love. It's great. What else is going on in the Star Wars podcast world?
You mean tonight?
Yeah, I guess you've got receipts, right?
Yes. At 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. road time, you will see.
And let's back up a little bit because road time would be Central Time. I really have, So I'm having real issues with. I can understand the terrorists that wanted the one world, one nation from Falcon and Winter Soldier. One world, one time zone.
Well, so where was I? 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. road time. You will see Ro and Shanti on Scarif Scuttlebutt, and they are going to have actor
John Tague,
John Tague, and they're just going to talk Star Wars talk. So, also at that time, you will also see WSTR Media, who will be talking about the music of John Williams in the prequel trilogy. And they will have special guest Cam Ray.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Cam. Awesome.
And then at midnight Eastern, 11 p.m. road time. You will see the Salty Nerd podcast on YouTube. They are going to do SNP late night and have astrophysicist Dr. Thomas Target talking about Don't Look Up Explained, which R2 the Icky will also be guesting on that show.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. We are busy bees, aren't we?
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy bees.
Yeah, very awesome.
Very nice. Let's see. We've been at it for a little over an hour. Do you guys anything else you guys want to touch on as far as podcasting and Star Wars before we wrap up?
I have a story. I just remembered my movie story, my Star Wars movie story. Back in 1997, it was the first week of February. I wanted to go see A New Hope that just came out. And none of my friends wanted to come with me. And I was at work and I was bitching about it. And DB came over and said, "Hey, I like Star Wars. I'll go with you." And that was our first date.
Nice. Very nice.
And then look what happened.
And now we're here.
So you didn't complain like Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend watching Star Wars in the movie theater? No, you didn't complain.
Oh no, I was Star Wars way before I ever met that guy.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, let me go around because I know we have significant others, and I wanted to quickly ask, do they share the nerdism with you guys? I know for the most part a lot of your significant others, but let's just go around the room. We'll start with Amanda. Is your significant other a nerd?
Gemma is a nerd, very much so. She was a nerd before I met her, but she did not like Star Wars before I met her.
Wow.
Yes. I actually converted her. I made her sit there and watch all the movies. We watched Clone Wars, we watched Rebels, and now she loves it. And but yeah, she was a nerd beforehand. She was really big into Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and Star Trek. So we shared those in common. And then she got into Star Wars, and now she's dragging me off to Galaxy's Edge now, and experiencing that. So it's great. We share so much in common. So
I would say she was nerdier than Star Wars before you met her. I mean, come on.
Very much so. Very
Absolutely.
much so.
Yeah. So we know Kelly's story there.
Mm-hmm. And he's the co-host of ATSW, the Escape Pod, so he definitely loves Star Wars.
Absolutely. Going down the line there, Maria?
Well, I don't have a significant other.
Yeah, way to call us out, Ro.
Yeah. Thanks, Ro. Thanks.
Dick move.
Real dick move. Sorry. What a bunch of losers.
But my family, my
yeah. There you go. Yeah, family. Yeah.
Nice save.
Thanks.
Well done. Saving Row.
Saving Private Row. So, my family's a huge nerd. Huge nerds. All over the place. I grew up with Star Wars. I grew up in Canada, so there were a bunch of nerds over there, which was awesome. And when I moved to South America, which I am now, yeah, exactly. But I don't really mind, I just put them in this place.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty happy with my life anyway. So.
Absolutely. That's good.
So, amazingly enough, when I got back to South America, nobody's a nerd. Like, there's a lot of people. Well, not nobody. There is some sort of community, but it's like really, really minimum.
It's like 1999 again.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I think there was still more. So I cannot talk. I go to work. And I would ramble about, some sort of new Star Wars thing that came out. And my colleagues would look at me and like, I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't even know anything.
Yeah.
Forget it. I'm not talking to you. The problem is I end up talking with myself. So
Join the club.
thankfully, Twitter was a really, really good experience. My toxic environment was Facebook, so I moved out of there, and I found amazing nerd people on Twitter. So
Very
thank
nice.
you for that. Yeah. But my
You see,
family
Scott?
were
You see, Scott, it's not all that bad.
Guess not.
Come and twat with us every so often.
I'm perfectly fine.
Chris, what about you? Significant other or family?
No, she does.
Flash
She,
sale.
well, I mean, I have,
First
yeah, no.
family.
yeah.
Right. No, I've been with my wife since right after Phantom Menace. We use it as a timeline when we forget the year. I'm like, no, we weren't together during Phantom Menace. So it was 99 later that year. But no, she's not a nerd at all. I don't know how I ever got with her, to be honest, because during that time is also the heyday of collecting, right? So I had green and orange cards all over my wall. I had open vintage stuff all over shelves. I had the new Phantom Menace stuff. I was in line at midnight getting things then too. So I don't know how I ever got with her.
And she's way out of his league.
Dude,
Just like Ro.
out of my league.
Just like Ro, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm adorable, right? And she's way out of my league.
She is adorable.
But no, she's not a nerd. But I did get lucky enough. She went ahead with my oldest son's name is Luke and my youngest is Logan. So it's like
Very nice.
a win-win.
All right. Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. That's too funny. Andrew's lucky. He gets to podcast with his significant other.
It's true. Yeah, for everybody that doesn't know, my wife is she wasn't originally supposed to be the co-host on the podcast, but when the other person that started out with me kind of flaked out on me, Marisha stepped in, and she's my primary co-host on Coruscant Radio Underground, and she does Science Fictionary with us as well.
Very nice. Very nice. I like to call them the first family of the Red 5 Network. Love you guys.
Chris
Love you
is
guys.
adorable.
And Andrew, you sent me a message. I know you have to leave.
Yeah,
soon,
I've got to bounce out of here. So,
but thanks for stopping by.
yeah, I just wanted to stop in and say hello. So, everybody have a good night.
You too.
Good night, Andrew. We'll see you in the chat. We'll see you for coffee.
Copy.
Trooper Shanti,
What?
you were telling. You live alone.
I'll be your partner, Chanti.
Recently divorced. October 2020.
Yeah.
Wasn't really a nerd, but he did like this stuff, so I'll be nice and say something nice about him.
But I know
But,
you were talking
my
about
mom
your
is the
sister
nerd.
and your mom.
My
Yeah.
sister, yeah. My dad is not, only for certain things. But no, my mom saw all of the original trilogy in the theater. She loved it. She grew up on Star Trek. She grew up on Batman. My mom grew up nerd, so she is 100% my cheerleader, and my sister too. I mean, my sister and I, we watched everything together. So if I was watching Star Wars, she was watching Star Wars, and she might be slightly better than me because she actually saw Clone Wars, and I'm only just watching it now. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
But you love it. I'm proud of you.
I love it. Oh no, I love
Proud.
Clone Wars. Yeah, I just at that time it was during all the prequel stuff, and as much as I liked the prequels, I still can't say that I was like totally in love with them like I was with the original trilogy. So when Clone Wars came out, it just felt very kiddie to me, so I didn't really want to watch it. It didn't feel like it was going to be adult enough. But no, I was wrong. I love it. It does a better job than Attack of the Clones.
Thank you.
It
Yes.
does a way better job than Attack of the Clones.
Get out! I'm done with this place.
I don't
I gotta go to
Anakin
dinner,
as
bro.
much as I
Log
used
off.
to now.
Log off.
Hanging out.
Anakin is a whiny bitch in the movies. He is so much better in Clone
But-
I will
Wars.
give
Why doesn't
like
she love me?
Everybody's so much better in Clone
man.
Wars.
He's like every other
Everybody
18-year-old
is
boy on earth.
He's a teenager. All teenagers are whiny.
Let's be
Yeah,
honest. Luke is kind
True.
of whiny.
Luke was
Kylo
whiny.
is whiny.
Luke was whiny.
Anakin's
Skyrim
whiny.
girl.
What's with the men of Star Wars?
It's
then,
the
no,
Skywalker guys.
The
They're-
Skywalker
they're-
trait.
They're just regular
Skywalker trait.
teenagers.
That's
Freaking
yeah.
Leia watches her planet blow up. She walks off like a boss bitch.
And you know what? And that's a
She met
problem.
Luke met
We need
Obi-Wan
to have-
for 2 seconds.
Yep.
It's gone. Like,
She needs therapy. She's a sociopath. She doesn't care.
what?
Leia needs help.
Just makes me like her more.
She literally had that little Death Star probe torture thing that came in there, and then she's totally
Yeah.
okay. What did that do? I mean,
Right.
I would
You can
really love
find-
Lucas to answer that question because
You can find out,
since I was 6.
during
What is that thing?
during the Star Wars radio drama, there's an extended scene, and it gets really heated.
You know what?
In
Bringing
that
that up,
scene.
the new canon, when she goes through it in her head,
Yeah.
she goes through how it was hours and hours of
Yeah.
torturous stuff, and she has to deal with the fact that it was her father doing it to her.
Right.
So that was that was in Bloodline, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Great-
it was in
great good.
Bloodline, yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
really
But
good
then the-
explanation of that. You'll never know it if you didn't read shit like that, but it's
Mhm.
like
She's still a badass.
it freaks
But
her
Yeah.
then
out.
the next line after
Totally.
that is, "You're a little short to be a stormtrooper." I
Right.
mean,
Right back at it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get in there with
Dig
that.
it.
Right.
Hey, every sister makes fun of their brother. I've got 3 of them.
Well,
They didn't know at that time.
I was going to say,
Let's
let's
not get
remember
into
They
that.
had the
George
Force.
Lucas,
Yeah,
George
that
Lucas
little-
didn't even know it at that time.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
They were still
Yeah.
boarding her.
It was the Force.
It was the
Like-
Force.
like-
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Like
They
we
were
say on Dork
short.
Wars, the podcast, there was slight amounts of incest there that yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. A little uncomfortable. eh?
A little uncomfortable, yeah. Scott, what about you? Family, significant other, nerds?
Yeah, my wife and I have been together for 30 years, and before that, she was a nerd. She and her dad would go to. Actually, one of the collectibles in my collection is a ticket from the premiere of from Empire Strikes Back, the premiere of Empire Strikes Back in Burbank, and it's this really cool little ticket, and so she's with me at every premiere. She'll
Very
go
nice.
see the movie
Aw,
with
that's
me.
cool.
As many times as I go to the theater, she's all in. First thing we do every time we're Disneyland pass holders. First thing we do every time we go to Disneyland anymore is we make a beeline for Galaxy's Edge and we just hang out there.
Yep.
She is my best friend, and she's right there with me the whole time. And
Must be nice. Must
it's
be nice.
through her that I met Chris, actually, because she
Yeah.
and Chris were in high school together. I was crosstown rival at a different high school, and she
Ooh.
knew Chris, and then we all met, and the rest is history. But she's
Very
cool,
nice.
man.
Yeah.
She can out Star Wars some of the guys on our show.
That's awesome.
Just
Cool.
That's
She's got a good nickname too. That's Jewel Baca, right?
That's Jewel Baca.
That's Jewel Baca.
And she knows more Star Wars trivia. She's forgotten more Star Wars trivia than most people know. So it's
yeah. That's too great.
It's impressive.
Too
she's
funny.
cool.
That's awesome. Nicole, family, significant others, friends.
Well, I nerd out with all of you guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right?
I
Family
do. I
schmamily.
nerd out with everybody. So my own personal story, kind of like Shanti, have an ex. Yeah, we nerded together, but he was more a Darth Vader, and that was not a good thing. But family-wise, no. My family was more like Batman and Ghostbusters, American Graffiti. My parents love it's one of their favorites. But Star Wars, I was on my own. It took me. I don't think I really got any friends probably until my late 20s of Star Wars. And that was like the church and stuff from Eric, who was twin sons. He was one of my first friends that was like Star Wars, and it was really hard. Also growing up in high school, the guys would be talking and they'd be talking about smack about the prequels. Maybe I liked them, and I just decided that it was not worth my time to deal with their bull. So I really didn't get my start into the Star Wars games the last couple of years. And so I'm still a newbie here in that sense, the fact that I'm really nerding out now more than I did before. So,
And I remember your early posts and just watching you interact with a lot of us, and it's been really great, kind of absorbing you into the family, and seeing you kind of blossom on Rogue One with the guys over there. So it's been great.
too. They're like, they're like brothers, and a certain point of view, they're just like my brothers, and I love that. Or we have Shanti, and we have the girls here, and I love it. I love nerding out and being able to talk about it, or BS on with the guys, whatever it is.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's so fantastic. Blake, any dorks in your family?
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a bunch of my cousins on the show. I mean, but my wife, she would not know a Jawa if it bit her on the ankle. If I'm being honest, I'm just kidding. We got snowed in it was before my daughter was born, so it's probably about 4 years ago, and we were able to watch the entire original trilogy. Before, she is not a nerd at all. She doesn't get it, and I mean that's all I am. So I don't even know how. I'm kind of like Chris, man. Like, me and Chris had the same story at this point. But we watched the original trilogy, and she liked it okay. She really enjoyed the Ewoks. And I was like, really, the Ewoks? That's what you enjoy? That's what you enjoy.
I like them too.
They're cute.
But I mean, she said they're cute. They're like the scariest things ever. Like,
they took down an empire.
Yeah, dude. Like if you've ever played Battlefront 2 on a PlayStation, there's a game mode called Night on Endor. And you're a stormtrooper trying to survive the night on Endor, and all you hear is "a woo woo." The Ewoks come and just take you out. Like it's the scariest thing ever. It's freaky, man. It's freaky.
I remember playing that mode. Yeah,
it's freaky. It's scary.
It's terrifying.
That's
funny. Nub to the nub.
But she's supportive. She lets me do my nerd thing. I do have some cousins that are nerds. My cousin Grant's on the show. His uncle, which is my second cousin, he actually gave me an idea for Gore's podcast. He had a little back when we were kids. We used to play with Legos and stuff, and we call it the Dork Wars. And I was like, that is a cool name. So when I got my podcast, shout out to my cousin Brandon Wall. Dork Wars podcast was made because of him. So,
very nice. Yeah.
Great story.
Very nice
story.
And Ro, your wife
hates everything I do.
So do I.
That's my mother-in-law,
but she is a saint because she lets me do what I do. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, besides watching the movies, I think Star Wars obviously has generated so many great relationships online here with our co-host and Twitter followers and a lot of the people in the chat, obviously, that follow some of us, all of us. I don't know how Nick does. I think he listens to every Red 5 podcast and beyond. So I don't know. Yeah,
I have no idea.
But yeah, but it's it is fantastic. I love the fact that we all do what we do, and really proud of this group that came together to form our little Red 5 network. But absolutely, thank you guys. It's almost 8:30. I have to prep for another live show and generate all that information. I still haven't even done graphics for that, but let's see if I can finagle something real fast. But guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Red 5 Live on both the Scare podcast and the Red 5 channel. And look at all the little baby Grogu's. Oh, there you go. And Chopper.
My favorite sociopath.
I love that.
All my
murder
collectibles get purchased, so I don't have anything.
Thank you guys. If if you guys are still in the chat, please check out the Red 5 Network Twitter account and check out the pinned tweet. All of our shows are located there. There is definitely something for everyone. There's little Grogu. All right, guys. I gotta head out. Power up that X-wing.
Oh, cool.
It doesn't fit on the hat. It doesn't fit over the head. That's a tough sell. I can't do this.
Wow.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you in about half an hour, where Shanti and I are going to do a little talking with actor John Tague. We're going to talk to him about just, he loves Star Wars, but he's been in some other stuff, and we'll see what he has to say. Until then, this is Ro. That's Shanti. Thank you guys. Red 5 Live. We love you all. That's the Scuttlebutt. Take care, everybody.
Keep it nerd.